Good morning and welcome to the pre-market live show. It's Tuesday, January 14th. Heat map changed over, and guess what? It is green. I know it changed over today because it's actually green. Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Tesla, Apple, all green. Google and Meta are just a little flat. They do look up a little bit. And how about that Nature's Miracle? We were looking at that recently, and that got cruising there. That's over 100% this morning. So there you go at Nature's Miracle, NMHI. Definitely just looking at that the other day, and that's popping up there. And STAF is up. We were looking at that as well. So let's go ahead, look at our Joey's jumpers, and see what's going to happen for today. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. Here we go. I hope everyone had a great day, or a great night, I mean, and has a great day. So let's get rocking and rolling and seeing what our Joey's jumpers are up to here. Let me just pull them up here real quick on my X account right here. And here we go. Much easier to do it on the computer. And there we go. And let's look at AREB. And we looked at our Jolie's Jams last night. So we'll look at these jumpers this morning. Here we go. AREB. Let's see American Rebel Holdings. It is curling up there. AREB. And looking pretty decent. Let's see. AREB looking good. It was running up the last few trading days. Today, 223 to 238. It's at 233. Yesterday, it ran up pretty nice. So 205 to 282, and it closed at 261. So it did open a little bit down, and we'll see if it can keep running up. It does not look bad, to be honest with you, AREB. So we'll keep an eye on that one today. AZTR. Let's see. This one had run up yesterday, and let's see if it's trying to run back up some right now. It did run up 37 to 86. And this morning, it's already went from 80 down to 50. So it did open up. It closed at 75. So it opened up a little bit and came down. It is at that 50 right now, but that one was a nice runner. How about that BHAT? It is up a little bit, I think, and maybe it is going to curl up here after the third direct offering in like a couple weeks. We went through that last night, and we'll look and see when that bottom is for BHAT, and we'll ride that bad boy back up because that's crazy. Three offerings. I can't imagine another one after that. So that should get moving. EONR, I think we just looked at this as a matter of fact, and it is curling back up here. EONR. Let me type it in right. EONR. There we go. And yeah, it did just run up the other day on the 8th. And today it went 95 to 117. It's at 110. Not looking bad right there for EONR. And GWAV, that green wave technology, that's way down. Let's see what it wants to do today. It may want to get moving here, it looks like. Yesterday could have been its bottom right there, 50 or 36 cents. It's at 41 right now. It closed where'd it close? It closed at 45, so it did pull back a little bit. Let's see, but this one's going to be a good one down here. Nice dip the last few days for that green wave. MNDR. Let's see what you're up to, Mobile Health Network Solutions. And this thing is starting to curl up. The 20 and 50 are meeting. Wouldn't be surprised if this thing was starting to move today right here. And it was yesterday, 36 to 65. And today it was, let me see, it opened at 57, came down to 41. So that run was yesterday, it looks like. Could have been in that aftermarket. What did it say? I can't tell. Actually, maybe. It closed at 40 right there, and it ran up to that 65. Yeah, I think it might have ran up in that after hours right there. And then a little bit today, that's what it looks like, but it was moving yesterday as well. And that is MNDR. OPTT. We've looked at this one, that Ocean Power Technologies, and this one was at the top, just pulling back. Let's see if it's going to bounce off that MACD line right here. It just curled through. It may stick it right there at the 20 in the 70-cent area. So we'll have to look at this. It's at 80 cents right now. Could come back into the 70s. PHIO was a massive runner yesterday. We were not really looking at this one, FIO Pharmaceuticals, but it did run pretty nice yesterday, I must say. PHIO, what did it do yesterday? It ran from 176 to 979. Today it's at 598. That's where it opened, and it got up to 615. It's at 363 right now. So some good pullback right there, but it did have a good run up yesterday. Is that P with three I's? It's P3 Health Partners. And this thing's looking good right here. It looks like it's moving up, and that's PIII. And it did run up yesterday 22 to 43, and today 30 to 37. It's at 33, so that's looking good, guys. Keep an eye on that. P with three eyes right there. SPRC. Let's see what this one's doing. Isn't this that Israeli company? Israeli Biotech. It had recently run up. We looked at it when it was way down here in the 20 cents. It's at 90 right now, and it had gotten over $1. SPRC. And let's see. Yeah, it looks like it's curling back up right there. So keep an eye on that bad boy. That looks like it wants to move. And again, staff we looked at last night said, watch this thing for a momentum run up here. And there you go. It's a momentum run for you. It ran in the after hours yesterday, 236 to 380. And today, 365 to 488. It's at 386. So there you go, you web bowlers. I think Laptop Travel was happy with that one this morning. And there you go. That's the way we pick them out. I mean, just nail them just like that. You only need one of them to trade smart and your money. Verify Me, that VRME. We were looking at this the other day, and this is still running up here, VRME. So take a look at it. It was another one we thought would be a momentum play. It was yesterday, 256 to 498, and then today 453 to 486. It's at 440 right there. So there you go for Verify Me, VRME, and XXII 22nd Century Group. This one was moving yesterday as well. And let's see what it's doing today. It was 501 to 1249 yesterday. Today 637, down two into the 578s, but back to 610. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. I think that one's going to continue to get set up there. XXII, YCBD. That's CBDMD. Let's look at this, see what their CBD's up to. And it looks like it's kind of pulling back at the moment. YCBD. And it is setting up. It's just pulling back. It ran up here on January 3rd, right after the new year. They had a big old party with CBD right there. And now it's pulling back to set up there. So this one is getting set up really nice. And YOSH, we just looked at this on the show the other night, and it ran up yesterday 290 to 502, and today it's at 330 right now. It opened at 360, so it did pull back there, and that's at YOSH, and we were just looking at that restaurant one as well, and it did just jump up as a matter of fact, and it's already pulling back. Like I said, I was going through that last night and talking about restaurants. So there you go at YOSH, and our Joey's jumpers right there. So there you go. And let's take a look at our laptop lowdowns real quick and see what they're up to. Let me see where they're at real fast here. Our laptop lowdown should be right here. And here we go. There's a couple good ones. RTC, this one's down. RTC, it's way down there in the basement, and it's been running down here. So keep an eye on this bad boy because it is way down here. I don't even know how to say it, but it is a China company, and it can stay in the basement. It's trying to curl up, as a matter of fact. So the lines are just running right on top of each other. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this one for sure, because this one could get set up for a quick little bounce right there on RTC. BCAN, let's see what that's doing. That one's in the basement. I know we've looked at this before. BCAN, and yeah, that one's we're gonna look for that bottom and that curl back up, because that one's gonna be a great one. And there's gonna be two of them that'll probably run 100% when they get set up. BHIL, that Benson Hill, we had watched this one run up. Now it pulled back down to your support trend line right there, and that's BCAN. And let's see, it's down there. That's that's for sure. It's at 420 taking its smoke break. No, it's at one. What the heck? Oh, BHIL, not BHC. BCAN's taking a smoke break. But if I look at BHIL, which we were looking at, Benson Hill, that is at 170. Pulled back down there. And like I said, hitting that trend line, support line. So we'll have to see if it's going to break down through it and get cruising. So there you go with that one. And let's take a look and see what is going on with BOWN. Bowen acquisition. Holy cow, this looks like one of them shell companies because it is, and it took a giant dip. Whoa, this one we might want to definitely take a look at. It took a huge dip down here, and that was that yesterday? It was 1091 down to 6. It's at 775. So pretty nice dip right there. It went from the middle of the chart all the way to the bottom. Almost looks like a bouncer. So BOWN, keep an eye on that thing. It's a shell company, but it did have a nice dip yesterday, and it could be a bouncer. So watch that bad boy today. FAAS. This one's pulling back here. Not looking terrible, but it is pulling back. It's called DigiAsia or something like that. And like I said, it's just it looks like it almost kind of topped out down up here and based out, and it's pulling back to set up. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And IZM. I just added a D. IZM. Let's see what this thing is doing over here. This is an electronic company. And let's see. It's way down there in the basement. IZM. Yeah, they have earnings coming up, it looks like, but it is in the basement. I would expect it to start to move soon, so their earnings are probably going to be decent or try to move it. JYD, this thing is just curling up. It looks like it's trying to. It's been pulling back here. It did run up here. It did run up recently right there on December 31st, New Year's Eve. And then it has some pullback. Looks like that 188 was its bottom. It's at 215 in that channel. And it does look like it's trying to base out to curl back up, JYD. So that could be a good one. LSH, Lakeshore Holding. This one took a huge dip too. LSH, I think it ran up yesterday and then dipped down hard. It opened at 284 and then it ran up to 350 but came down to 210. And I know it ran up and came down because it's at 213. So that's at LSH. Let me see if it's that's today. That's yesterday's date, so it's not doing anything just yet, but it did run up and come back down yesterday. LSH. MOB. This one's actually a great one to keep an eye on. We were talking about this yesterday on that small cap show, if anyone tuned in, and a couple of the guys loved this, and they're fundamental guys. So you guys know I'm all technical, no fundamentals here for me. And but apparently this company is fundamentally strapped. And like I said, the company looks real solid. It had just recently run up there almost over $5. It ran up to $5 on January 7th. So last Tuesday, it did a top to hit that resistance. It pulled back, had a nice dip yesterday in that channel. It's a communication equipment. They have like drones and stuff. The guys were talking about it. And like I said, this company is solid. You can just tell. And so we're going to watch this one, MOB. I have it jotted down. And we're going to watch this one to hit that bottom and bounce back up because like I said, it is a solid company. It will roll back up, and we'll keep an eye on that. And I'm not a long-term guy, but I'll take these guys' advice because they're all hopped up on it. They've been talking about it for weeks here. As one of the guys got in at like 40 cents. They've interviewed the CEO. I mean, several of them all like this thing. So definitely going to keep my eye on it. And like I said, the company looks great. So it's almost like one of them BLDE situations, which also has pulled way back. We can look at, it's at 366. I was looking at it yesterday, and that one ran up, I believe, the same day. At January 6th, it topped out as well. And this thing's setting up to be super bullish to bounce off of here. another great company. Again, I'm not a long-term guy, but you can just tell on the charts these two are solid. So keeping an eye on that MOB and BLDE, we can add to this list also. NMHI. That one popped this morning, huh? There you go, laptop travel. So yeah, it was looking great. We looked at it the other day. Had a beautiful dip yesterday and went 184. Opened, it was up at 195 and came down to like 112. That was a dip and rip. And this morning, 125 to 330. It's at 311 right there. So, and I tell you, these dip and rips, you got to watch them, especially when they hit that bottom line right there. That's what we're always looking at. And that's what we go through in our on the late night shows. So there you go. Thank you very much, Laptop Travel and Asian Joe Lee, for your lists. They always help out, and they're great lists right there. So here we go. Let's take a look and see what's going on. Crypto actually looks good too, so we'll run through that real quick and see what it's up to here. But crypto is looking pretty nice. Bitcoin's back to 96,328. So it did jump up here. It went up about $5,000 since I last talked to you guys at 11 o'clock last night. So it did move. And like I was saying, it did look like that bottom was yesterday. Remember, I was talking about how they reset up at 7 p.m. as a new day in crypto. And it was looking pretty decent. It looked like yesterday was at bottom with them good dips. It ran itself way up to the 50 right there. And if it jumps up on the 50, the 50's crawling down, you're about to see this start to run. I thought we might have had a few more days here, being that the inauguration is on Monday. But guess what? These things look like they want to try to get set up sooner. And I know that we're all happy about that. So Ethereum's at 3,200 right there. And we were going through Ripple last night. It was looking incredible. Ethereum right here, like I said, 3,200, took that nice dip, based out. It's in between that channel. That one could hang out just for a little bit because the 50's so high up on it, but it shouldn't look too bad. Ripple's at 256, up 18 cents. And it is moving, and like I said last night, I think it was up like 240 something last night, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it got moving, and it looked great. I was saying it was going to get ripping, and it certainly did. Solana's back to 186. And this one, it did touch down to that 200, came back up, and I think that 50's up there, but it made a nice hard curl down now. So I think we have our base right there. Our bottoms were yesterday, it appears. And even now, if the 50's come down on it, it's going to pinch it in between the 200. They shouldn't go down much further now that we saw that nice dip. I can't say that that's 100%, but that's just the way it looks. And that's Solana right there. Cardano's back to 96. That's up like 6 cents. And that one is trying to get back up to the 50, and it's right there. So these are looking much better. Doge is back to 34 right here. And let's see, Doge is looking pretty good to start moving. Oh yeah, Doge is looking real good, guys. It just started curling up off that line and looking sweet right there. So keep your eye on Doge. It's a bargain down here at 34 cents. I can tell you that right now. And Sheeb is actually moving too. We'll see if it looks decent. It's in between. It looks like yesterday was the bottom, like everything else. The 200's under it, and that 50's curling down. So it'll be in that channel, and then Sheeb's gonna get rolling too. We'll look at our bonk and our WIF, BONK. Let's look at it. It was pulling back there. And again, the 200's down there. It dipped under the 200. It was one of the few ones that actually dipped under it yesterday. But it's back on there and looking much better. So it should start to cruise up. And that 50's making a hard curl down on Bonk. So Bonk could be getting set up to get cruising a good and it did. It flew way up there and then it came way down. So, yeah, I think it's going to get set up to start really cruising again. And that is BONK and WIF here. Let's look at it because it's been down and it's under the 200 and it is trying to curl up here. It's not looking bad. what did I say? It was at 150 right there. So WIF. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. And let's take a look at our SPY and everybody else. And then we'll take a look at our messages and see what's going on. And yeah, Ripple's looking great right there. So I would have to say that. And let's see, our SPY's got to be up $1.28. It did bounce off that trend line right there at that 575. And like I said, that 570 still isn't out of the question. So it could turn around. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't look perfect. It almost looks like it's parachuted up, but it did hold itself. So that is a good look. And it does kind of look like yesterday was its bottom. So I'll take it with that because my chart, it is looking like that bottomed out yesterday with that dip. So there you go with the SPY. Let's cruise through and see what the rest of them are doing real quick. We'll start with our buddy Apple and see if Apple's rebounding. It did look like Apple was bottomed out yesterday as well. We were saying that. I think we are going to get that bounce on Apple. So let's keep an eye on that. And I do think that bottom was yesterday. And it looks like that low is 229. We're back at 234 already. So there you go with Apple. Let's see what Amazon's up to and see if they're all trying to curl back up. It's up a little bit. Amazon's just sitting there. I don't know if it's ready to curl back up, but it will be set up bullish. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not ready to pop. Google is down 11 cents, and that one could pull back. It does look like yesterday was the bottom, though. But it definitely could pull back. That 50's way down there under 185. So we'll take a look at Google. And Meta, META, that is down back to the support and trend line. And again, it's just going to be bouncing around as it sets up. But it is looking good. Let it pull back a little bit. Maybe it comes under the trend line to the 50, to the 592 area. And that'll be a very good price to look at it. So that is Meta, META. And like I said, Zuck still has something going on. Microsoft, MSFT. Let's see. This one was trying to curl back up. Yesterday does look like it's bottom, trying to get back to that support trend line right there so it can get cruising. And that's MSFT. That's Microsoft. And good old NVIDIA, I'm telling you, this one did look like it wanted to bounce. It's up over $1 back to 134. It's not looking bad. If it can curl up on that MACD and get cruising back up, it'll make that hard curl and get really popping. So we have to see if it can get back up over this 137 area. I'll say 137.20. If it can get back up there, it'll be much better. So look for it to try to get up there. And but I'm not going to promise you, but it definitely has to hop up there today. Even in the 136, has to get up another couple bucks here in NVIDIA. So we'll watch it to see how green it wants to get and how much momentum today. And if it can get moving, it'll get popping. I can tell you that right now. It's right there. So we'll keep an eye on that. And good old Tesla. This is up $4 and it's curling up, guys, and it's looking pretty damn good. So Tesla looking nice. And let's look at that MicroStrategy MSTR, because that one is trying to move around this morning, 338 to 345. It's at 335, so it's actually a little lower. It's hitting some resistance right there at that 20 at 346 area. It only got to 345, but there is some good resistance right there, and it will break it. I'll tell you that. MSTR, it's just getting set up, so keep your eyes on that. It could pull back a hair one more time, but I'll tell you what, it looks incredible right now. And so you might want to be looking at that bad boy. And that's MicroStrategy. And like I said, crypto is looking good. So the only one, us looking at the heat map real quick, Meta is down a little bit. Microsoft, Apple, Google, and Amazon are up. They're just a little, not up a lot. NVIDIA is really green along with Tesla. So there you go. Let's just see what AMC is doing real quick. That is down, or that's up a little bit, up 5 cents, but trying to get back out of the basement. I don't even know why it went in the basement yesterday, but it sure did. And GameStop is down a penny, but just sitting on that 20, not looking bad. And that CHWY is just sitting there. But I'm telling you, this thing looks really, really good. And let's just look at our semiconductors. AVGO is up $1.60. And I think yesterday could have been its bottom. We'll have to take a look at it, but it does appear that it wanted to be. So yesterday could have been them last good dips there. MU up another dollar, looking much better this morning, I must say. And let's look at TSM. They have earnings coming up. And when is that? Isn't that Thursday earnings for them? January 16th, and they kick off like a bunch. We'll go through some of them tonight as well. And yeah, so TSM, it did jump up. It's on the 20. It is looking better, although it did curl through. I have to see this bad boy right here. Interesting look. Curled through, but sitting on that 20. Maybe it could get in that channel. Maybe it can bounce. It's hard to tell at the moment, especially with earnings coming up. So we'll have to keep an eye on that TSM. SMCI up 19 cents, just trying to set up here and trying to get into that channel to get cruising again. AMD, that one's back up 43 cents over the trend line, and it does look like it didn't curl through coming down. Almost looks like it pulled itself up. Let me see. Yeah, it did. It was definitely curled through coming down. It's pulling itself up. So AMD, if that rolls off that trend line and MACD line, that's going to get popping right there. So we'll keep an eye on that. It is setting up. It's just not right at the moment, but it could get bouncing. So for a quick bouncer for AMD right there. And let's see what QCOM and Intel are up to. QCOM, this one's really setting up nice too, so keep an eye on this bad boy. It's looking real nice. And INTC's up 4 cents, and this thing is trying to get set up as well, so keep an eye on that. And there's your semiconductors, and they are looking pretty decent this morning right there. Let me see what you guys want to see real quick. Let's see, XRP looking great right there. Lulu, let's look at that. Looked really good yesterday, I must say. Up $1.14 to 400 hours, and it wants to curl up and get into the top. It's right at that top line, and it's not looking bad for Lulu. So 400, and yesterday it did run 389 to 420, and then took the smoke break, came back down to 400 to close, and like I said, it does look pretty good right there. LULU and ASML. Let's look at that one. ASML. This one looks pretty nice too. It's trying to get set up. They do have earnings coming up on January 29th. ASML. Let's see. Yeah, it's not looking bad at all. Hit that 20, crawling off that MACD and trying to get set up here. That's another semiconductor equipment one. So both of them looking really good right there. Luis Rodriguez, I like that. B-Hat, we did look at that one. Let's see what it was doing. I don't even remember, to be honest with you, but let's take a look at it and see. BHAT. It is up just a hair, and it is just riding that bottom line right there. It's curled through coming down. I think it was trying to make that hard. I think it's going to set up, make that curl back up. It had that dip. I don't think they're going to have another offering, so I think their bottom could have been in right there for B-Hat. So we will keep an eye on that. It could definitely be a good one right there. Let's see what else is going on here. And let me take a look at stock twits real quick, see what's going on over there. And let me see if it comes on. There we go. DJT is down a hair. Let's look at it. Down 358. It did run up yesterday, and it did make that support. That it's a resistance now, but it's going to be a support line, trend line right there. So it did pull back, but it is getting set up there. So keep an eye on it. It could pull back a little bit, but it did run up pretty nice at DJT. So we'll keep an eye on that. APLD, these Marin Riot. APLD took a nice dip yesterday or the other day. I know that because we look at this one, Applied Digital, it's called. And today, 815 to 1083, it came back to 873. It dipped down yesterday. So yesterday was its bottom, and it looks like it has earnings today. So, Yeah, I'd say they have earnings. So yeah, let that one take its earnings and then we'll look at that one. But it did run up TGTX. We looked at that last night. IOVA, another one we looked at last night. What's it doing? It was trying to set up here. This one was in the basement. And this one's a good one to keep an eye on, guys. Keep an eye on this IOVA today. It's not looking bad. TDOC, what's that up to here? Teledoc, that looks like it could be curling up and setting up really nice. TDOC, so we'll keep an eye on that. It went 1036 to 1090. It's at 1009. LKNCY, that's that Luckin Coffee or something. And this one's pulling back here, so I'm not sure what's going on with this thing. LKNCY. And I think it's an OTC now. It's at $25 and it ended up becoming an OTC. I traded that one a bunch of times before. That XXII, RGNX, what's that one? RGNX, let's see. I don't even know how to say that, but it looks like it bottomed out yesterday, and once it get cruising, it's up 50 cents. So keep an eye on that. That Nature's Miracle NMHI, we were just looking at it, well over 100%, 160% right there. Staff is up nice, and some other ones are starting to curl up. So let's look at ELAB. That was looking good yesterday, and that one's just kind of flat right now, not moving yet, but keep an eye on it. Looks like some of these does look like that market might have bottomed out yesterday, so that's a beautiful thing. And we'll see it start to roll up. Like I said, we could see a little more pullback on some of them, but I think we're getting down to that bottom and we're going to start moving. So there you go at our pre-market. I don't see anything else there. Crypto looking good. We did our Joey's jumpers and our laptop lowdowns. Like I said, crypto's looking good. The market's looking decent today, so let's start rocking and rolling again. We should have put it all the way down here, but we didn't. But we definitely will next time. That's what I was saying yesterday. We're going to be prepared for these next pullbacks and be completely set up and ready to rock and roll. So let's nail this market and just take advantage of what's about to happen because it's looking good, setting back up. It's going to run up, and again, it'll run up and then pull back. We'll be prepared for it this time and definitely hit it on the way down, the way up, and every which way. So there you go, nice and green, looking decent. Meta's down a little bit. Google's just a little flat. Everything else looks pretty solid. So let's see what goes on today. I'll be trading, that's for sure, because I was watching it and seeing when it was going to bottom out and start popping back up. And there we go. So have a great day, everyone. Make sure that you lock in those profits and trade smart. Thanks for tuning in. Laptop Travel, Asian Jolie, Profit Logics, W, J Kratz, Louis Rodriguez, East Coast Beach Girl, CFS. Is that Sam? Sam Patel's on there. PK, Bongpri Chan, Sherry, Cereals on here. Serial winner, Sinai, NV9900, Bruce, Dehan, who is Lloyd Sense, how are you this morning? And Tom, how is everybody this morning? Have a great day. Like I said, make sure you lock in those profits, trade smart. We are looking pretty decent to try to start cruising back up. So let me know if you're looking at anything, and I think we're going to get moving again. So there you go, and goodbye, good luck, see you later, and have a great day, everybody.